We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
All right, we're gonna give it to him sometime proper. All right, so let's go. Three, two.
It's simple.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Item Most High, the joint roller Ayatollah here with my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm just, trying to get through. Happy Labor Day, everybody. We are the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. So tap into us and thank y'all for listening. But tap into us if you aren't on the social medias of the medias of socialness that we are also on RW Podcast, one on Twitter, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you love us. Come watch, come listen, SoundCloud, iTunes, bro. So tap in. But if you are here with us on YouTube Live, appreciate y'all listening and watching. Like that, like that. Smash the like button as the kids say. And let's get into it. The week that was in professional wrestling.
Well, as the title says, wow, what a week it was. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think it will be hard pressed for us. Kind of. I know. I said let's start one way, and then here I go start the show, and I'm like, boom, swerve. But it is Labor Day Monday. It's Monday Night Raw night, and I think we will be remiss if we didn't get into the latest of things early. And just one time down for the greatest Intercontinental Champion of the modern era, Gunther, for defending his championship tonight in the main event of Monday Night Raw against Chad Gable. And now he will supplant himself as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, not the modern era, all time.
Of all time.
5-year record of 454 days by the Honky Tonk Man.
This might be, man, one of the most prestigious titles, or in wrestling. This might be something we probably thought we wouldn't see in our lifetime, but this is I think that Gunther definitely has a claim to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Intercontinental Champion of all time. And this match, incredible. I shout out to Chad Gable, great competitor. He had his family in the front row. But damn, that boy Gunther is something serious, man. And obviously he's a main event talent who we're seeing just dominate the Intercontinental Championship division and dominate anybody he's up against. That undefeated streak that went, and then he got a count out loss to Gable. Still hasn't been pinned or submitted, but he's undefeated, longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. What a benchmark, man. What a benchmark. And he's had banger after banger throughout the entire time he's had the title. So shout out to that dude. Cannot say how speak to his greatness enough. But yeah, he's just getting started for a great career.
No,
Honestly, this is a great start of career. Put it that way.
We can speak to his greatness for sure. Plenty, my man. Like you said, again, he changed his name, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Poor Walter." Yeah, R.I.P. to Walter, because Gunther, the Ring General, has taken over, my nigga. What he's like 2 Chainz when he left Titty Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I fuck with Titty Boy. But when that nigga became 2 Chainz, my nigga, yeah, legend.
I didn't know about Titty Boy until he was already 2 Chainz, and I was like, man, all I need is 2 Chainz, bro. Because that dude is killing it, and Gunther's killing it, dog. If you didn't know Walter, trust me, you don't care.
You don't need to know Walter. No.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't need to, because at this point, Gunther has established himself as his own thing on the main roster. And like I'm gonna say it again, this is one of the greatest starts to a career in WWE, like of all time. He's up there with the Brock Lesnar's, in my opinion, even though obviously Brock is probably number 1 on the list. he's up there with
I
that
think
list
it's-
of like
yeah,
dominance.
I would say it's Brock, Kurt,
Uh-huh.
Walter is up there. I mean, Gunther clearly with debuts, because realistically, Intercontinental Champion for a year plus, number one in the Royal Rumble, lasted from 1 to 30, got eliminated by the winner ultimately,
Yep.
and I mean
That's
his
crazy,
group,
man.
Imperium is fucking when they locked and loaded and like, you know what I'm saying, like they're one of the most serious groups in wrestling. So yeah,
They
man,
definitely have an aura about them when they come out. You know, the entrance, everything about it.
and he's a distinct leader. So like it goes through him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Gunther. Just wanted to, but the real way we was going to start out the show is with the very dismissive CT, aka Chitty Bang, of all out, all in, all elite wrestling.
Listen, man, I don't want to be dismissive at all. I'm gonna say it right now. Don't let Chris besmirch my character. Listen, when it comes to this, all AEW, all elite wrestling, I'm extremely proud of them, and I want to say congratulations on 2 very successful shows, especially All In Wembley, packing the house with 80,000 plus fans in the UK. People come from all different countries to come watch wrestling for a company that was like, hey, can we put 10,000 people in seats?
It's not even just that, Chitty. We can't even undersell it. And I'm sorry, I want to not disperse you. Hold on,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You set me up just to
no. I didn't
ahead.
set you. I just wanted to make sure because it's not just 80,000 in Wembley, because we can't, as impressive as that is, 81 plus thousand paid people for a wrestling event is an all-time record, right? From the secondary promotion.
It's an all-time record over WrestleMania.
It's over Wrestle. Yeah.
I was wondering like what he meant by that. Like, why is that a bigger record than WrestleManias who have gotten?
That's the gate. That's the gate. That's how much niggas paid to get, and not niggas that came through the turnstile. Because you can get comp tickets, you gotta count stage hands, you gotta count niggas backstage, all that shit. When we're talking about room capacity, can fudge the numbers. We talking about 81 plus thousand people paid bread and set a record for an all-time wrestling record. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I wanted to kind of get across, because as you say, they had successful shows. That was the most successful show of wrestling of all time.
That's what he meant. Okay.
That's why I went to the table. Like that was one of the most successful wrestling shows
of all time. Yeah. So I don't want to, because I'm not forgetting. I don't want to.
This our pod, nigga. Who gonna say what time?
No. Listen, I can say what I want, but listen, I don't want to take this moment and downplay it. I don't. I really want to give them their full props. Okay. It's a huge accomplishment, and for, like I was gonna say before, for a company that was like, can we put in 10,000 people? Can we get 10,000 people to come pay us to watch wrestling in California for one show? That was all. That's where they started, and that was what, 4 years ago, almost. Sorry, well, yeah, about 4 years ago. That's huge, man. And to 4 years later, have 80,000 people, 81,000 paid tickets to come in there and do that. It's an incredible feat. Shout out to Tony Khan. Shout out to everybody there backstage, the talent, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, their EVPs, everybody who we don't know that also are in the office and backstage hands, and all those people who have got them to this point. Now, business-wise, business is booming. Wrestling is booming, man. Like, there is so much goddamn wrestling going on every single day that I'm like running it up every single week that we can't even talk about it quick enough. We got to come on after Raw on a Monday to talk to y'all because there's so much going on in the week. And we got shit to do on our own lives,
Yeah, ain't no way I was going to be able to come on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Friday, man. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like, come on. It's every day. It's every day, bro. Every single day there's wrestling, bro. So I look at it like this. This is fantastic for the wrestling
Yeah,
business. And I'm
absolutely.
happy because I'm a wrestling fan.
I think one of the big reasons why we landed here is because even though it was a big event, it was a big show, it was their biggest show of all time, you didn't tap in. And you didn't tap in because you wasn't really fucking with what they had going on. So I need you to kind of let us know.
Wait,
why.
we talk a little business, but you know me, I'm the creative guy who wants to talk creative all the time. And creative has not pulled me to AEW. Now, I'm not sure where they're going as a company as far as their brand, but I give all the talent, like I'm never going to downplay how much talent they have on their roster. How they
Okay.
organize that talent and put them into the best positions to capitalize on their talent and to showcase them as superstars. I don't think I would go about it that way. And I don't think that it's what I personally like out of wrestling all the time. Adam Cole and MJF's angle, I tried to really give it some rope when it started. And you know I did. You were already shitting on it. I was like, no, you know, they're holding it off until All In. Let's see what happens. Once they start dance battling in the ring and, you know, saying double and pretty much booking it as, hey, we're best friends now from, you know, where they came from, I was like checked out. You know, I was checked out. When and those little vignettes backstage, I know that a lot of fans appreciate that though. There's a lot of fans who like, yo, double clothesline and all this shit. Like they're really excited to see it and how like MJF is turning face and all that. They're really excited for that, and I'm not. It didn't get me
because of variety within the show.
yes,
well.
and I'm saying it's not for me. That
well, within the whole company though, or just
listen,
that.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But I'm saying for that particular, it was one of the main things because that was one of the things that were holding me. Because before that, I had already for months talked about, hey, they aren't using a couple of people right. You know, I was like the women's division. I was talking about how Ricky Starks was going on and how they were putting, you know, Waddle Hobbs with QT Marshall. Yo, you can talk about, you know, Brian Danielson, one of my favorite wrestlers, was injured. John Moxley, it just becomes a little bit cartoonish now when you're always bleeding and sticking forks in your head or whatever it may be, and building a whole angle around a fork and All Elite and AEW and BCC. I was like, wait a minute, or a screwdriver. Was it a fork or a screwdriver? It was one of those things, you know. And you know, the whole blood and guts match, I thought it could have been built so much better. Wow, you guys downplayed the House of Black for months and then want to bring them back just to throw the titles on. Now, shout out to the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. You know, they put the titles on them, which rightfully so. I think they should have got the titles, but the entire reign of House of Black was kind of like thrown under the wayside. And I thought they had a real good thing with House of Black, especially with Alicia Hart, with the whole act coming together. I thought you could have showcased them more alongside the Elite, alongside the BCC, so we see them as a really main event faction, you know, and we didn't get that. All the attention put on Chris Jericho, and then putting him in one angle, halfway through shifting into another angle, eventually making both angles suffer, you know. And it's like, why is Chris Jericho still the center of the attention of this? Did you get over anybody in the Jericho Appreciation Society? These are the problems I've had with AEW. And I'm like, man, you guys are not kind of like what I want to see in wrestling, you know, and it's okay. You know, like at one point I was the guys, you know, waving the flag for AEW because I'm like, this is competition. This is going to be great for the business. And they have great wrestling. And like you said, you're right. I came on here all the time saying, yeah, it may not have great storyline, but that wrestling is so good. I think that
that's still the case though.
And that is. But I also I get really excited about potential, you know, and what it can be. And sometimes I get excited and I come on this podcast. I'm like, yo, what can we see with MJF going forward? And we start booking it.
I think that's our. I think that's what made us a good podcast in the beginning, because this brings in like legit argument or legit debate, nigga. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? You're like that.
Listen, you can say that, bro, but if I could also say I'm not watching, and I can realize, hey, oh yeah, they're not going the way I thought, I'm out. You know, or they're not going the way that I like, I'm out. Like
Well,
I'm not. I can get great wrestling and storytelling on a weekly basis on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which have
That's not
then got my.
true. That's not true. That's
Oh
not
my
true.
God! For you, maybe not true, but for me, it is. For lately, and mind you, because there was a time where I was getting that with AEW. There was a time when AEW was arguably better than SmackDown, even on like was it 2000 year, around 2001. 2001, AEW was on a stretch for like a month and a half.
2021.
2021. It was like a stretch of like a month and a half where I was like, yo, AEW right now is kicking ass, bro. And they might be the best wrestling television show. And it was either that or SmackDown each week. Raw was dog shit. NXT was doing the NXT 2.0 stuff, and we weren't into it. It was just AEW and SmackDown that I was really interested in. And that sometimes AEW won that week because it had great wrestling.
That's true, but that's the argument that I want to bring back full circle when you say the expectation of what I had wanted. The storyline, like you would tell me, the storyline ain't good, but the wrestling's good. Orange Cassidy has been a really great champion. I know you just like listed a bunch of your, the testers of AEW, but I will say this. As you say, Jericho, and I'm not just poking holes in everything that you're saying. Jericho didn't necessarily make Will Ospreay, but he made Will Ospreay. It was the biggest match that Will Ospreay could have had. It was the biggest match that Will Ospreay could have had at the time frame because Daniel Bryan didn't come back until a week later. Daniel Bryan wrestled at All Out, and he wrestled Ricky Starks in a strap match. And again, when you was like Daniel Bryan and Ricky Starks put on a match of the night on Sunday.
I'm gonna go, and you're right. I should go back and watch these things, But when there's no build for the best matches of your shows, I don't fucking know, and I don't care enough until it's over. Like, and then I'll go back and watch it. Like, okay, you guys told me it's good. I'll check it out. Like, I didn't even know that match was going to happen until like a couple of hours before it. And I'm like, I'm not paying for this shit, bro. Like, I'm not tuning in, bro. It's supposed to be your biggest show of the year. I don't care. Like, and you the guy who you built this whole thing around just got fucking fired. Like, it's just been like.
And that goes back to the creative thing. So this is where I'm asking as a fan, right? When we talk about it, we can compare sports things, right? Where's the leash? You feel me? Like where's the? I'm not calling Tony Khan a bad GM. I'm not saying that he don't make the right calls. I don't say he don't make the right moves. I will say niggas players don't play.
I'm saying he's the bad coach. He's not a bad GM. He got a great roster.
I can't say he's a bad coach when Daniel Bryan ripped his shoulder and he's out for 6 weeks in a
No, you have Daniel Bryan is not the only star on your roster, though.
Yeah,
you can scheme around that. You can scheme around that.
My trio champions, the first crown, I had to suspend these niggas. Like, bro, I'm not a bad coach when these niggas are bad players. Get the fuck out of here. You're not playing me
bad. The coach sat by one of his star players while he railed the entire roster and just sit there and nodded a year ago. Just sit there and nodded like, yeah, oh, okay, you're gonna go there. And then and then he fought the guys, and then he brought them back. Like, yeah, they say don't meet your heroes, man. And Tony Khan, I know CM Punk is your hero, bro. And he comes out like, yo, you should have. Once that happened, you cannot do that. You can't sit beside your boss and rail the entire company, and your boss doesn't do shit.
GD, we're talking as the outside.
This is a bad coach.
Hold on. We're talking from outside looking in. We're men. I'm just saying, like, legit. This is what I'm talking about, leash. We've all from the outside looked in and saw our homie do some shit and be like, yo, that bitch is bad for you, cuz he's like, man, listen, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Tony Khan looked at CM Punk. It was like, man, y'all don't know, okay? You don't know. Okay, you don't know. Nigga, Warner Brothers gave me a TV deal because I fuck with this nigga. Cuz what you talking about? What do you mean?
So
Nigga,
yeah, that's
I
GM work.
got production costs, nigga, because I made good on my make goods, nigga. I'm doing good business with this motherfucker. I can't just let him go. The pussy is nice, okay? It is good.
Oh
Pussy
man,
is lavish. The Latvia is little. You know
yo,
what I'm saying?
it's old
You know what I'm saying? This
and
is
it's disrespectful and it's emasculating.
a bitch can call your mama a bitch. If she can fuck you good, you gonna stay around for a little bit
I
longer.
would never. I'm a
I
man.
know. We
I
say
would-
it. We say it. It's happened.
Not
the
to
best
me. Not to me. Never will. I'm dead ass. Never.
I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, and as an owner of a company too, like
Yes.
I don't think it's good for your board of directors to see you sit beside your own talent
No.
and have him rail the entire company, and then you not really take action just to suspend them and then bring him back and then pretty much like make it a whole big affair and fanfare about it. Listen, you saw what it was back then. You saw what it was back then. And I think this is a perfect case of there's so much blame to go around on so many sides. But this is why it's not
First
just
and
with
foremost,
CM Punk.
It's Punk. It's Punk. It's Punk. It's and you know what my
It's Punk, yes,
bro,
but
Khan
it's not.
brought you back after 7 years where you were obscure and wanted and loved and adored and admired, and the nigga brought you back to a hero's welcome. Bro, Punk is really good business. We talking about merch, we talking about ticket sales, we talking about TV contracts. Like, no lie, my nigga. Like, that's why Punk and Khan have that relationship.
Punk is, don't get me wrong, Punk has toxic traits of his own that I think are not going to work well with anybody. And when it comes down to it, you know, they say don't get in the pen with pigs, or because when you're fighting, you can't tell who's who. Punk does not do that. And as a leader of the locker room, as a leader of somebody who should be leading the charge and teaching some young cats, or even not getting involved, he gets involved way too often and he's way too sensitive. As a leader, you got to keep a little firm distance. Like, hey man, some of these young cats ain't listening. Fuck it, I'm out of here. This whole thing that he got fired over started over fucking glass. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, yo. You shouldn't lower yourself to fight over somebody making a comment about glass. This makes no fucking sense. You're a Hall of Famer, about to be a Hall of Famer, should be. But your ego overcomes yourself. But this is not. But you're dealing with a bunch of immature people. You know, huh? What?
Well, no, I can't give Punk that out and say he's dealing with immature people, nigga. They built the whole company before the motherfucker got there. Dude.
That doesn't mean they're not immature.
And that's what the fuck is Punk? He's mature?
No, I never said that.
I know that, but that's what I'm trying to say. We can't say that Punk's dealing with immature people.
I just called him out for being toxic and how he's insensitive. He is not blameless. He is not getting out from me at all. I think he has, as a guy who has already laid a career that is Hall of Fame worthy, should not lower himself to some of the petty squabbles he has had over and over again in AEW. I'm not sure what he expects from these young cats. Them to kiss his ass? You shouldn't. I don't know what he expects from these guys, but you shouldn't be fighting somebody over glass. If that's what happened, allegedly, you know, I don't know what the deal is that he gets so fucking hurt that he has to then, go backstage and cause a ruckus over somebody making a comment about whether he should use glass or not. It had nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with him. Honestly, if you gave him some advice about not to use glass, now he's using glass, fuck it. Move the fuck on. Sometimes kids won't listen. They just won't listen. You got to learn the hard way. Let whoever it is, whether it be them, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, that don't listen to you, fuck it, get over it, and work with the people who do listen, the Ricky Starks of the world. Don't ruin Ricky Starks' moment at one of the biggest show of the year in Chicago the next night, the next week. So, like, it's a really selfish thing that he did. And I think that's not only on his part, though. I think that there's selfishness to go around. I think there's a lot of people that have done things that I think even John Moxley has talked about how it's one of the most drama-filled backstage rooms, and it's not just because of Punk, but a lot of drama goes on with the women's division. A lot of drama goes on with the way people are working backstage at AEW. There needs to be somebody to rein it in. And that's why I say there is a bad coach in charge. Because listen, when your EVPs are going out after fighting and getting suspended, coming back and making and doing and then provoking Punk with the fake buckshot lariat and falling, and then provoking Punk with the bites. Can you make the ace still bite and putting that into a match? It shows their immaturity as well. I can't just act like that shit don't exist, you know? And sure, Punk should rise above that and come back and do business because it's business at the end of the day. But God damn it, all you guys in AEW are not blameless, and I want you guys to grow the fuck up. It's not the reason why the fans talk so much about this and not your show is because you guys act like kids too. You guys are immature. A lot of these story stuff, a lot of storylines are immature as well. If you want that audience, you're going to get an immature audience. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm not disregarding that. What I'm saying is, it helps bolster my point that Tony Khan presented a culture that was different from the one that they've been around. The one that you're speaking that needs to take place. Clearly, he kind of really don't want to do that, and I commend him for that because that ultimately makes him different, right?
I'm not saying he should be WWE by any means. I'm not saying that though.
I understand. Listen, Nick Saban coaches.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Deion Sanders coaches a certain way.
Yeah, I get you.
Right, and what I'm saying is that if Nick Saban can get his team to have 6 penalties, and Deion Sanders can have his team to go 6 penalties, how they coach their players might be different, right? So when we're talking about Nick Saban as the disciplinarian, he's Bill Belichick, right? He's the grab a coach, not necessarily like we don't see him demonstrative. He's not Bobby Knight, you know what I'm saying? Like, or kicking players or like the punch the player, like, but we know him to be stern.
Yeah.
From what we know from Deion, he's like a big brother, right? He like, hey man, everything's all right, don't worry. And that's what Tony kind of like, hey guys, like, who got an idea? Here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bring him in, give him a big hug.
I'm not necessarily the boss, man. Like, I'm the boss, but I'm not the boss, man. Don't look at me as the boss. I'm here for you to communicate and
your friend.
And listen, let's take this a step further, right? We see this unparalleled to parenting, right? A parent who is quote unquote by the book, strict, whatever the case may be, and you got the parent that's a friend. And we look at certain childs from a perspective and be like, nah, that kid need to be reined in. And we be like, how the fuck we know? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it ain't to what it is that we are, but that kid, again, a straight A student, you know what I'm saying? What, you know, and he has or she has a relationship with their parent, they be like, yo, is that the mom or the sister? Is that the dad or the brother? You know what I'm saying? And we have a perspective on what it is. Now, I hear what you're saying. It then, when it goes off the rail, when that child doesn't have that parent, we can be like, damn, somebody needs to step in. But it would never be the parent, though. Yeah. So we can't, and then sometimes we'll blame the parent, but the parent will have justification like, look, my relationship with my child supersedes a decision that they make or a decision that I make or whatever the case may be.
And so that's why
I think Tony went to that length with CM Punk, where it's like, hey man, I gotta kick you out the house now, cause.
But you realize you saw, because here's the thing though, you got a kid who you say straight A's, who is even straight edge, but they're acting like they on drugs the entire time. They're acting like they're not. They act like they're fucking like alcoholic. You know, you're straight edge, but you act like you're not. It's completely different than. So you have a hard time reining that in because they're so talented or whatever they're bringing forth as results. My thing is, even he couldn't even rein CM Punk in. When he came out, it was the board that said, "Hey, this is a toxic work environment. You got to fire him." He came out to Chicago at Collision and said, "Hey, I didn't want to make this decision." Even then, he didn't want to scold his child. Even then, when his child's putting other people at risk. Because they just have a bad attitude.
But this is what I'm trying to be. This is where I'm talking about. This is how we're speaking about it, right? Again, Tony Khan is not of that ilk.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, but this is what I'm saying.
But don't give him the credit for letting him go because it
No.
wasn't his decision.
It was ultimately.
It was recommended by the board and the lawyers. He said it himself.
I know, but okay, bro. Okay. First of all, let's calm it down. Who's the fuck? This also ultimately comes down to what we're talking about. Who makes the fucking decisions over there? VKM. Tony Khan's the same way. He gets recommendations, yes. What his thing was when the motherfucker came and knocked monitors off and it hit him and shit, and it scared the people that way. He like, damn, now I really do gotta take control. I don't have to take control of grown-ass wrestlers who can handle themselves and clearly got into a backstage fight with niggas. No, what I do have to take care of is, like you say, production staff, production crew, stage hands and shit like that. A monitor could have hit a nigga next to me that I asked to get headphones and shit like that. Now I really do gotta make a decision, because if them niggas is scared to work with CM Punk because he's volatile, then yes, my decision is now in influence. I may not want to again because listen, yeah, bitch, I booked this shit. I got 6 months of shit I gotta get through. Nigga, you know how many matches I've been trying to get off, but niggas been hurt, been suspended, been hurt. Bro, I don't want to fire you, but you got a bad fucking attitude, cuz. You gotta go. You got to go, bro.
But yeah, but my thing is, it took some other people to say, hey, people are at risk.
Yes.
He should go.
It's just like
he did not just say, yeah, this
bro,
is
it's
time.
like
It's
Albert
time.
Hainsworth in the NFL. He stepped on a nigga face and Bill Belichick still brought him in. It was like, I can fix him. When he got there, other people was like, Bill, it won't work. He stepped on the nigga face, bro. Bill was like, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, nigga. I need a nose tackle.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, listen. At the end of the day, they're getting results as far as business, so I can't say too much. And you've had 2 successful shows back to back, but going back to the reason why I have taken the back seat to AEW is because I have nothing that's drawing me to the show. Even the matches they have booked, I'm like, in hindsight, I'll find out if they're good and I'll watch them later. That's how I approach it. I'm at that point, you know. But before I was like, oh, they booked this match. I have never seen this match. I gotta tune into Dynamite. I gotta tune into whatever this is. I can't. Forbidden Door. We paid for that this year. We actually have put money in their pocket, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. Listen, when you guys actually book a good show, I will be there. I will do it. I'll tap in. But I have the right to say, hey, I am personally not interested in this show. Because Jericho Will Ospreay, I don't give a damn about that shit. The 6-man tag with the Elite and whoever. No, I don't care. You know, I did not care. Orange Cassidy and John Moxley being hot-shotted into the main event, don't care. You know, I don't care about a lot of this stuff.
Well, this is what I'm trying to. Okay, so now, wow, I'm glad. Okay, this is where I'll ultimately bring you to, because this is storytelling here, man. And what I don't understand is how you aren't really engaged with it when you're saying somehow they're hotshot that they weren't, right? Orange Cassidy, after All In London, after his defense, he stated he's pinned everybody in Blackpool Combat Club except John Moxley, right? This was the battle of the workhorses for AEW, right? John Moxley, Orange Cassidy are 2 of the people who literally carry this company week in, week out.
Absolutely.
That's so, and also Orange Cassidy essentially wanted to fall on his sword to the only man that deserved him to fall on the sword, which was Moxley. Didn't do it Penta, didn't do it to Pac, didn't do it to, right? Those are quote unquote his rivals. Yuta has lost to him a couple times. No, Moxley's the guy, and Moxley did it at All Out, and that was also a great match. Also, a match Moxley did not bleed in. You know what I'm saying? Orange Cassidy bled all over the place. Moxley beat him. It was a match. It wasn't a hardcore match. It was Moxley just beat the shit out of him. And this goes back to what I'm saying about All Out. As you stated, it wasn't necessarily booked the best, but if we were watching week to week, which I know is what the case is, I
might have missed something.
You would have picked up on, and that goes back to, like you say, the women division, where I don't necessarily like everything they're doing with the Outcast, but you can see that now that Soraya's won the title, Toni Storm is doing really good character work. She just caused Ruby Riott to lose to Chris Statlander at All Out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Ruby faced Chris Statlander for the TNT.
No, did she cost her the title on purpose? Like what Toni Storm trying to?
Oh yeah, Toni's doing a thing right now. I mean, she's in this like 1930 or 1940 Marilyn Monroe kind of gimmick type of situation, and she's so distraught that she doesn't have the title, so she's just doing shit, acting out. You know what I'm saying? Like so
she's not in the Outcast anymore. She's not in the group.
They're in the group. They're okay. All In was the 4-way. It consisted of Saraya, Toni Storm, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida.
And I know
so both of them won. Yes, they was both in. I mean, so they it wasn't like they stayed away from each other. You know what I'm saying? And in the match, you know, that don't really bode over well. You know what I'm saying? You hit me, I hit you. We're supposed to be friends. You know, I want this title. I want this title. We're both from England. You know what I'm saying? It was a really.
She's not from England, bro.
Who's not from England?
Toni Storm not from England.
Well, I mean, where's she from?
I think Australia.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
She's from the Down Under?
Yeah, man. You hear her accent, man. Thick ass Australian accent.
That's the only thing that's dick.
No, New Zealand / Australia. Same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but she's both.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So again, those things are happening on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. Speaking of Collision, right? Ricky Starks, as you stated, the aforementioned Ricky Starks had a match with CM Punk. They had a feud. I don't know what that feud was going to be. I don't know what my expectations for that was. CM Punk,
the Real World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, CM Punk beat him.
And that's what I'm trying to say too. Like, you know, like it's the builds. Even when you got the right people, you guys do things that are just don't make much sense building to the match. You know what I mean?
What happened? You about to?
I get. No. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not gonna say that.
You speaking on Ricky and CM Punk that particular?
I was just, hey, listen. If he beat him, I guess this is a rubber match type of thing they were booking.
No, it was already the rubber match, right? Punk. No, CM Punk
beat him in the tournament.
CM Punk and Ricky Starks was not supposed to be for All Out.
I thought that was the main event. That's what I heard. I heard that was supposed to be the main event. It was supposed to be CM Punk versus Ricky Starks for the Real World Heavyweight Championship.
That's not what, because again, we cut the promo of Ricky Starks being suspended. You know,
yeah, but he was coming. He came back.
Yeah, he came back and beat the shit out of Ricky Steamboat. This is what I'm trying to say.
No, he came back after that. He was unsuspended.
Yeah, but
early for the show.
I know, but this is what I'm trying to say. Where the fuck Ricky Steamboat come in with CM Punk? So that's why I said I don't even know what we talk. I don't even know how they were supposed to get there. Right? Ricky Steamboat lost the match. He beat his ass with him, and then he got suspended, and then CM Punk went on about his way. And I'm like, well, shit, Ricky Starks, you know what I'm saying?
Then it was Samoa Joe and CM Punk, but then they were supposed to that's what I'm trying to say, man. Like, I just can't. Like, I don't want to be that negative. I really don't. But that's the word on the street, is that was the match for All Out. That was going to be the main event, the last match. And then that CM Punk got, fired. They actually had to fire him. They're like, okay, we can't do that match. That's when Bryan Danielson comes in for the save, and he saves that Ricky Starks match. That's what the story is, at least allegedly.
So CM Punk and Ricky Starks were supposed to have a strap match.
I'm not sure if it was a strap match, but I know that they were
Because
supposed to.
how the fuck does Daniel Bryan come in and save the day? It was like, I'm only coming back if I can beat the fuck out of a nigga with a strap. I just like, cause if Tony, this is what I'm trying to say. You gotta get a nigga credit, cause the nigga had to fire a nigga Friday. Had to get a nigga to say I'll do a match on Saturday.
And they stole the show.
A nigga with a strap and have it be the best. Bro, that's a lot. That's a lot of cocaine.
No, listen.
Allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not saying that he hasn't improvised with the circumstances he's been given. So I think he can do that. But if I'm not calling him coach of the year by any means. I think he's probably one of the worst coaches I've seen this year in person. And this is going back to the beginning of the year on how he handled multiple angles where, the freaking Bullet Cup Gold could be a lot better. Like, and this is just from my eyes. And not everybody can be subjective and have their own opinion. Best coach of the year for me, obviously Triple H, and then you want to go to Shawn Michaels out there in NXT right after that. That's my guys of the year so far.
Bro, that's bias.
It's not biased. It's not biased. It's absolutely true.
Sean's not doing a good job at NXT. Because I can tell you one thing: if you ain't watching AEW, I ain't watching NXT. And we can roll right along to that. I don't know what the fuck going on over there, cuz.
You ain't seen what's going on with Trick Williams and Carmelo. You ain't seen what's going on with Wesley, with him and Trick and Carmelo.
I mean, clearly, I'm telling you what's going on with AEW. I'm stacked over there, man. Not wrestling on. Tuesdays is kind of an off day for me, brother.
Okay, no. Hey.
No, it's not a good. If we talking about booking, right? Trick, Carmelo, yes, I pick up on again storyline to matches, right? Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov, good storyline, good match.
Yeah.
Carmelo Wesley, good storyline, good match. Other than that, ain't really shit going on over there. That's
women's division's popping too. Like all the women have elevated. Honestly, it's getting a lot better. The women's division have had.
I mean, I'm not saying that hasn't, but again, storyline as well. Kiana James is challenging Tiffany Stratton after winning the Fatal 4-Way. That was a really good 4-way compared to the 4. It was again like yes, the women are. But when we talk about storyline, if it's a good match, I'm gonna watch it. Right, just like Miro and Will Hobbs for All Out. Right, you were talking about how Will Hobbs has ditched QT Marshall, been ditched QT Marshall. He came out with the Book of Hobbs and was like, I need to be redeemed. He called out Miro, said, I need the Redeemer. Miro and Will Hobbs.
And choked him out.
Hey, and I don't mind it.
Okay.
Because the reason why I don't mind it is because, again, they gave me something that I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? They trashed this QT Marshall. They brought back Will Hobbs to say, nigga, I don't care if I'm calling out for a fight. You gotta put me out then.
Yeah, and he did. So we'll see. And my point is, we'll see where this goes with Will. We'll see where this goes with Miro. We'll see where this goes now that you got CM Punk out the way, what you can build with these guys. And like I'm giving him the rest of this year, but we're already in the fucking fourth quarter. I have not been pleased with AEW all year to this point. Like, there's been moments. Don't get me wrong. There's been moments where I'm like, yo, they're doing this, doing that. I have not been. It hasn't been a cohesive year for them. It hasn't been a good year for me.
No, I mean it's very hard for it to be a cohesive year when we're again comparing the two. They are a still, as you say, my nigga. You said that they have for a good 6 weeks. Okay, like a good 6 weeks they was battling SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nigga, like realistically, AEW is still a secondary promotion. And they are still finding their footing, and everything ain't gonna always hit. And WWE has hit its stride. And the reason why it hit its stride is because, again, our expectations on the other side. We thought Cody was supposed to win the title. Oh, he didn't win the title. Okay, well, Sammy didn't win the title. Okay, Montreal's going crazy. Okay, he turned his back at the Royal Rumble. Like, yeah, from January up to fucking April, WWE's been skiing off, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
they
really
have not missed. They've been hitting home run after home run.
And MJF winning the fucking title ain't gonna fucking cut it for me either, cuz. You know what I'm saying? When we did the podcast on my anniversary, March 5th, nigga, Bear, I almost ain't getting none, cuz I stayed up watching the Iron Man match that went overtime, and niggas want to tell me that's the best fucking Iron Man match they ever saw. Like, get the fuck out of here with the hyperbole. You know what I'm saying?
You agree with what I'm saying? It's not hitting the way you
Well,
wanted. I mean, I liked it. Just because it's something I like doesn't mean that.
Well, but that's what I'm talking about. I wasn't feeling the build. Yeah. I wasn't feeling the feud. I wasn't necessarily feeling the match. You told me to hang on. Here I am in September, and I'm like, nigga, I finally got Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe. It may not be the way that I have wanted it, but Shane Taylor won a tournament. He was dominant in that tournament. He called the shot against Samoa Joe. Whether he lost or not, either. I got what I wanted.
No, Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe, I don't mind that at all.
Right.
I was talking about Will Hobbs getting choked out after trying to be redeemed. To me, I think you could have either extended this a little bit longer and not had him just flat out lose like that. That's just my opinion. There's little things, like I always say, I think AEW becomes so close but so far for creating new stars. And I think Bullet Club Gold should be a bigger stable. I think House of Black should be a bigger stable. I think that Ricky Starks is finally becoming a bigger star that they're trying to make him, and they're putting time on that. So thank you for that. So I'm not going to say that's wrong. I think that there's little things here and there that they have done to hinder the growth of people that I'm interested in. And that's selfish for me to say, but yeah, so that's why I'm like, hey, I'll tap out until I have a reason to tap back in. Even with what they've done with MGF, who to me, I think is one of the more talented guys they have on the roster. I am disappointed with how they've turned the corner with him. And that's not the case with a lot of their fan base. A lot of family has been really pleased with the MJF angle. So I can't say it's wrong. I'm just talking from my own perspective. I'm not saying subjectively or objectively that they absolutely are doing things wrong. I'm saying that for me, that's why I haven't tuned in. And that's why I will not tune in until it's time for me to say, you know what? I got to see this.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, but this is what this is what I'm trying to say. Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe didn't say, I got to see this. Whether it's the build or not, it's the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the fact that, as you say, Bullet Club Gold should be more. Why do you think that? You're interested in them. Why are you interested in them? Because they're kind of neat. They kind of cool. They kind of got a little thing going on. And because you want to be interested in Jay White. So anything that like is some type of tinge of interesting, you're trying to grasp onto it. And I get it. It's a lot going on, right? I look at Roosh, right?
It seems kind of like
it's
kind of convoluted sometimes when I watch AEW. It's frustrating for me.
It's always been convoluted though.
I don't.
It's never been as simple.
I don't think it's been like this. I don't think it's been like this. Personally, I don't think it's been.
It hasn't been this convoluted, Chidi, because it hasn't been this much top talent that can't be at the top right now. As you say, the people that you want to be, that you're interested in, it's the same thing that we will say in WWE, right? The people that we're interested in aren't on top, right?
It's not even that, bro.
The
guys who are on top are the guys who I want to see on top. MJF and Adam Cole, we booked this beginning of the year. This is exactly what we wanted, but they didn't do it to the way I like, bro. Like they did it in a way I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like you could do this so much better. But hey, you pleased a certain fan base and part portion of your fan base.
Well, we knew
it wasn't for me.
I knew when I called it, when you said Adam Cole needs to be on top. I said, with MJF right now, with the run that he's on, I said it's going to clash. I called it. I knew it was going to clash. And look, it's clashing because at the moment, MJF needed to continually rise and he needed to continually knock down baby faces. They did not compare him with, well, I mean, again.
He did that for the first half of the year. And now we're in the back half of the year. And what did they do? They turned him into a baby face. So I think that's where they wanted to go. But I think that's counterproductive for the guy who had kill your baby faces going into this. In my mind, I'm like, okay, if you want to have a guy knock down baby faces, kill 4 pillars, Bryan Danielson, you want to make him a strong heel, right? No, they say, no, let's just make him babyface now and turn him to this and tell a storyline and angle that makes him become best friends with Adam Cole, become ROH Tag Team Champions. And then,
well, my thing is, how do you not know that this wasn't going to be a unification championship match with CM Punk and MJF? Like this is what I'm trying to.
I'm just saying that speculatively,
I'm,
it wasn't that. That's
I,
what I'm hearing. Because if not, they would have had booked. They would have had a shotgun that within a week's
no, they
time.
wouldn't have shot. This is what I.
Because they didn't build to that. They didn't.
Hold on. Stop. This is what I'm trying to say. Expectations. No, they would not have shotgun because AEW doesn't necessarily shotgun unless something drastically happens. Now we're talking about we got CM Punk as the real champion. He calls out MJF. MJF never acknowledged it, hasn't acknowledged it. And at some point in time, there was going to have to be an acknowledgement.
Oh yeah, eventually. Oh, do you mean pass all out?
No,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So what I'm saying is that as we're talking about the back half of we're talking about even how MJF won the title, bro. And he wasn't even supposed to win it. CM Punk got hurt and then got motherfucking suspended. Even that was not even, bro. We talking about the whole start of the year was thrown the fuck off. And these niggas have been trying to catch their tail since, nigga. And here you ass talking about my expectations. They do what I want to do. Nigga, they trying to catch up.
Dude, I'm saying they ain't I'm saying what I'm trying to say is, bro, that's why I'm not watching. I'll wait till you catch up. When you finally got it, I'll be back. Dude, I'm not waiting for that shit. I've been waiting for 6, 7, 8 months, and then you guys had them dance in the ring on the dance off. That's your catching up. I'm done. I'm tapped out.
Hold on. That is very I guess, and this is why I guess the roles have been reversed. I would say that's very unfair of you because you gave them 6 months and we have given WWE our life, right? We waited around. Bobby Lashley has showed his ass and it took him 3 years to be champion after that, right? So you can't say
I'm not saying I'm never going to watch AEW again. But there's been times, but no, when we come up with saying it's fair. It is fair because there's been times where I deadass have not watched Raw for 3 weeks. Because I'm like, hey, man, I'll catch it up on YouTube. They do a better job of WWE catching me up on YouTube than AEW does. So, yeah, I'm a little bit less tapped in.
That's a lie. AEW give me the whole match. They give me the finish. They give me 7, 8 minutes, including the finish, my nigga. It's like porn when you go to AEW, cuz.
I don't see that shit on my
It's
YouTube.
even the finish. They even give you the finish, my nigga.
Oh my god, dog. But yeah, I don't know where your AEW porn is coming from. I haven't seen it. But yeah, I'm more tapped in. But there's been weeks where I've been 3 weeks in a row not watched Raw because the Raw was garbage. You know, I've just been like, yeah, I've been tapping on YouTube when I get chance. I can catch up in bits and pieces throughout the week, watch a match here, watch a match there. I'm not watching a whole 2 hour or 3 hour show because it hasn't been drawing me. You know, because we had done this podcast for like 5 years. You know, I've done that where I've come like, oh, I'm going to be a little bit half-assed on Raw. I didn't watch it this week. That's happened. And this is where I am with AEW. Until there's an angle that I'm like, okay, I want to see how this plays out on Dynamite, or I want to see how this plays out on Collision or you know, on Rampage. I will not tune into the show until I say, okay, this is something I want to see. You know, and maybe there are things maybe there's matches I want to see that I haven't tuned in, but yeah, I'm a little bit disenchanted. So yeah, there are some matches that I could have probably said, yeah, that was a good match, and I didn't tune into it because it was like, hey, man, I'm just off, you know, turned off.
I can understand that. I think the reason why we stay here so long is because again, they are coming off of one of the most profitable show in wrestling history, followed by CM Punk being fired, followed by them also having a fucking spectacular pay-per-view in spite of in his hometown. And you ain't watched not a fucking single solitary second of it. So, I mean, I think it was worth the hour. It's more time we spent talking about it than you spent watching in all of the 2 weeks that them niggas been put out.
Let me say, well, listen, forget about me, though. Forget about me. You did watch some of it, right? What was your takeaways? You know, like, let's hear you gotta say, because you were tapped in, which is ironic because I usually am the AEW guy, but yo, you're the guy watching now. What's your takes?
Again, I was not missing. I'm not missing. I wasn't missing Wembley, bro. I'm sorry. I wasn't missing afternoon wrestling. I wasn't doing that. I told the wife and kids, whatever y'all need from me. I went grocery shopping. I changed diapers. I walked the dogs. I'm like, nigga, I got afternoon wrestling, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, yeah, man. I watched the pre-show. You know what I'm saying? Where um uh MJF and Adam Cole won the ROH champion tag team championships, which was a complete surprise. Absolutely complete surprise. I thought we was gonna get the build up to the Angle, championship match later on that night. I thought we was gonna, but nah, man, they're doing
Was it good though?
the tag team match.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tag team match was really good. The tag team match was good. It was a quick little 8-minute sprint. You know what I'm saying? Hook and Jack Perry again was free. Another 8-minute sprint of just pure chaos. Hook never kind of really been in that environment before, so it was kind of dope to see his progression. You know what I'm saying? Nasty. You know what I'm saying? And that's where everything kind of transpired. I'm assuming. So the my intel on it is Jack was gonna do something to get him hurt because he wanted time off. I just said Jack was gonna do something.
I thought you said Zach or something.
Jack was gonna do something that, you know what I'm saying, and it was gonna be a la CM Punk. CM Punk has done that before. CM Punk wrestled with a staph infection and was like, hey, I want them to tell me that I can't go. You know what I'm saying? I guess Punk, like you said, advised him not to. And Jack Perry's like, dude, you're not the leader that, we all thought you was or that you think you are. Fuck out of here. Did his match, did his spot, called his shot. It's essentially the same thing Punk has done previously to Hangman Page, right? We're talking about who starts stuff, who's immature, right? When niggas respond and shit like that. Now I gotta be the bigger man. Nah, nigga, we finna be petty. Beyonce even said, I'm more petty than you, nigga. So listen, CM Punk start shit. Niggas finish shit. Nigga, yeah, I listen, I hear you.
I'm talking about Beyonce, like why she's like
I'm
preaching this petty message.
I'm petty than you, nigga. I'm petty than you. Hell yeah. So listen, this nigga Jack did shit that Punk did. Said, nigga, cry me a river. Nigga, I'm about to get it in. Came through the tunnel. Because Punk matches first on a card. So clearly, I don't know what happened in the tunnel, whatever it came to be. Punk and Joe wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but again, I'm not really expecting much from Punk and Joe because I don't really. It's not 20 years, right? We've done the 20-year thing before, and we saw Undertaker get dropped on his head by Goldberg, right? It's not really cute, right? So, that was 15 minutes of just pain. You know what I'm saying? For me,
okay.
It was pain. Bullet Club Gold again, as you stated, with against the Golden Elite with Kota Ibushi and Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Can't really argue against a match like that. You know what I'm saying? Like chaos. Bucks and FTR again. I can't really do the FTR comparison tag matches anymore after they did what they did with the Briscoes, the storyline, the actual like I'm jumping
Those
around.
matches were crazy, man.
And like they really tested to see who was the best. It's hard. It's hard.
What we wanted from at least from my opinion, what we wanted from the Young Bucks and FTR, I got that with the FTR and Briscoes.
Well,
classic matches over and over again. Now I think they have classic matches, people might say, but I don't think I've even seen all of them. Like I haven't really been into their stories.
Real recognize real. When we talk about people making people, the Bucks was never going to make FTR. Not make them. right? Like it's hard for me because I'm trying to find a comparison right now of like who made someone that was like a peer but not really their peer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll even go as far as um like Kurt Angle in that 6-pack challenge when he was with Rock, Austin, Triple H, Undertaker, Rikishi, right?
Yep.
Taker wasn't really. Taker was above that nigga level.
Yeah, I think everybody but Rikishi maybe was above Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Taker and Angle had a chemistry that then over time and years we saw like when Angle really needed to get over with something, he got it in with Taker. You know what I'm saying? Like Armageddon 2006 is a match that coming to mind, right? Like it was is really Taker on a downslide? Is Kurt really being the most aggressive that we ever seen? And that nigga took it to Taker. Taker took everything he could, and Angle put that nigga out his misery, right? That's what I look at Briscoes and FTR, right? When FTR needed to be made, right? When they needed to be fucking stamped, they went and saw the Briscoes. You know what I'm saying? Because they just gave them that fight. It gave them that grit. It gave them that 80s feel that they wanted to have. And they got it. So it's very difficult for me to kind of, and I don't think no other tag team will give FTR that unless they go at it with the New Day. Right? Because I think historically, FTR again is not going to say they're the best tag team in the world until they're healthy and on the same roster with the best tag team in WWE, and that will be the New Day. And I think we'll get another classic inspired stuff between FTR.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Usos are the best tag team in the world, so I think that will be the match. But I don't. I don't think they have to do anything like that. I think the FTR can be the mainstay tag team on AEW and really just ride that wave. They don't need to rise any more further than they already had. I think they've had enough classic matches in WWE and outside WWE.
I don't think they had it in WWE though. That's where I think.
I think they have. I think they've had plenty with FTR. I mean with DIY.
But that's NXT. I'm talking about on the Raw, SmackDown. Both their time got cut short. And when they got with Randy Orton, we thought that was going to be the rise of them with
FTR Kid.
And they got hurt. Right? They never really got the tag titles, right? But they never got the reign. They never talked shit on the mic. They never went through the tag teams and
you're right. They have that moment, and then that moment where you're like, oh, these guys are the tag champs, like holding it down, locked it out, kind of thing. But I feel you, and I think some of that's due to injury during that time. But I would like to see that, but unfortunately, we're probably not gonna see it, dog. Like they're gonna be in AEW holding that tag team division down. They're a main event act in the tag team division for AEW, and do they need to be in WWE? I guess that's the argument nowadays. Like, do you need to have that run WWE to be a great, phenomenal wrestler in the wrestling industry and be respected, revered, have great matches? And AEW making a claim that no, you don't need to be WWE for your entire career if you don't want to. Me, I always say I do want to see certain people if they have the ability to go to the WWE. If you've been in AEW for a while, to see what it's like, and just to see that I've done it all. If you to see what it's like and see if you can, stack up and how you would stack up, even if it doesn't go great. Yeah, go back to AEW after that. But go to WWE, try it out, see what happens. You never know. what might turn out with your career and what great, fantastic angles you'll be in and how they build and what you would learn as a wrestler, also being in the biggest promotion in the world. But FTR has already done that. They've been there, so they don't necessarily have to go back if they didn't want to.
No, I don't. Again, no, I don't. No, I don't think that they have to. Again, when you talk about their main event, mainstay act in AEW, again, what memorable match? Like you say, you don't even watch the matches that they have with the Bucks, nigga. So, what memorable matches have you watched with FTR that make them want to stay? Right? They've already wrestled they wrestled the Guns, right? The Bang Bang Gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is left for them to do in AEW? You know what I'm
Keep
saying?
on holding them tag titles. There's a lot of tag teams coming up. I know that listen. There's gonna be more tag teams. There's gonna be more young stars coming in. There's gonna be other they can fight. Jay White and Parker, CJ Parker.
Done that, been there, done that, won that already. That's my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Swerve.
They Swerve who? What type?
Then,
Swerve
wait, I was gonna say saving
Christian
AR Fox. Oh, but did he leave?
Yeah, he keep cutting out, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. All in the coffin match was then Swerve and Christian Cage. Cause Christian Cage got an out for any nigga that got a dead daddy. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, I'm saying. But
no. That guy's fucking foul, dog. I can't fuck with Christian, dog. That guy fucking, he's a menace. No, but I love the heel work he's doing. Honestly, Christian is now found like a new gimmick that I never thought was gonna be a thing. That let me shout out anybody that's a dead dad. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Apparently, a lot of people, which again, I might be like, "Why you so scared thinking about death?" Well, clearly, a lot of niggas don't grow with their daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man, yeah.
So hey. It's tough on a nigga. Then when you get to the entertainment portion of it, and the nigga entertainment that you try to get away from the shit,
it reminds you.
Oh, that he did.
Oh god.
I feel like hurt him.
Oh my god. Man.
Oh
yeah, man. There were some paintings at the Stove God concert last week. I wanted to get one that was Bray Wyatt. It was $300, dog. Like, I can't do that right now.
What?
But the shit was nice, dog. There were so many different paintings, different rappers, artists. There was a Ric Flair one with the beanie, Ric Flair, with blood on his face. There's a lot of different. There was like an art show / rap shows, though. But yeah, no. Speaking of the Bray Wyatt thing, I was going to say that the damn Bryan Danielson actually last trap match was with him, and he was saying that that's probably why he wanted to bring this trap match and have a strap match with Ricky. So I know that we mentioned that a little bit earlier. So I wanted to tap it.
Yes, he actually cut a promo and said it. You know what I'm saying? And again, like you say, storyline isn't necessarily cohesive, but when Ricky beat the Dragon with the strap, signed, like an arrogant heel, signed his name on a contract first because it said Ricky Stark versus the Dragon, and Ricky Stark was like, I got another person that's named the Dragon, and they played Ricky Stark's shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I guess, and Bryan Danielson go way back from down, when homie was out in Seattle doing this thing, Bryan Danielson, that is. So it was, and also when you say the Brian cut of deals like I had a strap match with somebody I loved.
Yeah.
And we beat the shit out of each other. And then on the press conference, on the press run, he said Ricky carried me that match. Ricky was a G. Ricky. I wanted to show a different side of Ricky, and I think we got that out of him, and they did. Ricky, we all knew was a star. We all knew that Ricky had the potential, had the look, but Brian beat the fuck out that nigga. Cause
I gotta tap in and watch that. And I'm gonna do that justice because I
fuck out that.
I love both of those guys. I definitely will watch that.
All black niggas
Tomorrow.
on the show got choked out. Just to let
Damn, yo, not damn, yo, damn. Okay, the optics just a bit. Forget it. Anyways, before you move on though, like I know you were talking about Wembley. There's a couple more matches that I know you were going to get to, but I really want to. All I care about is the main event. I know there was a lot of anarchy in the arena, all that stuff, but I want to know about the main event. The Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho stuff, you can talk about if you want. But the main event, I hear that's another match that was like one of the best matches of the past 2 weeks in AEW.
I'm not. I don't listen. Again, I don't like the work of MJF and Adam Cole together. We talk about chemistry. We talk about when you say the best matches. I didn't like the Dynamite match. I didn't like.
You really don't like the Dynamite match? That's crazy. That Dynamite match was dope, man. I can't even front. You should go back and watch it. Really.
There
was chemistry there. I mean, you can't say there wasn't chemistry in that match. That one.
I didn't say it wasn't chemistry. I just don't like it. Chemistry, right? I just don't. To me, like, even with like Adam Cole and Gargano, right? A lot of people love their chemistry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't necessarily care for it too long, and then they gave it to me for like 6 months, and I'm like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. I was with you on there on that one. I can feel you on that. The great wrestlers sometimes they fall into a formulaic routine, but there's a common denominator in both of that, and your guy Adam Cole. I'm just saying.
Well, I will also say as well, like Adam Cole is I'm not again. He's limited, right? He has to win matches a certain type of way when he's involved with certain type of character work. Between him and Johnny, it was like picking on somebody his own size. You know what I'm saying?
And this is, and I mean, obviously expectations, your expectations, whatever. But I gotta say this really quickly: shouldn't we have expectations when Adam Cole came back from such horrific injuries, and then they actually make a whole package behind him and do a whole show with their following his return, and then he's finally facing the biggest heel in the business, and then they do this? Like, shouldn't my expectations be like for what they could have done with Adam Cole? Shouldn't it be high after like the way that
Danielson, right? That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same. Bryan Danielson came back when he wrestled Adam Hangman Page, right? After he wrestled him twice. Right, and then that's when he snapped, joined the Blackpool Combat Club, everything like that. Then he finally wrestled MJF again for the vacancy. He went through the tournament and everything like that, and that was So we was like, Bryan Danielson finally is going to win a world championship. He hasn't won one since he lost, and no. So it's
even the ROH Tag Team Champions after all that, and he cut the promo earlier this year about he wants to be the world champion. So that's the kind of stuff that I don't like with AEW. When you set you plant the seed, and then you're like, let's just like
because I think again there's something else bigger that I'm paying attention to and I'm watching, right? The Kingdom's there, right? And Roddy Strong is there. And I know you might not want to pay attention to that because it dilutes what it is, but as he wins the World Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, the Kingdom now is like, hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And Roddy Strong is like, yo, like you seem to use people because they know Adam Cole.
I saw that promo, yeah.
Right, they still know Adam Cole got that in the back of his mind. So again, when we talk about him winning the tag team championships, it can all be again a long story ploy that we might not enjoy the journey with, but will get us at the end road where we'll get Adam Cole finally turning on him and against the Kingdom. And then he rejoins the Kingdom. And now Adam Cole and the Kingdom is together again with Roger. It might be some, and I'm literally freestyling some shit.
Yeah, and that's what we're here to do. But I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. I'm going to keep it 100%, but I do not trust them for shit. Because every time we do this, every single time, we say, just freestyle, and we give them basic shit that you can actually do. They just say, you know what? Let's go this way. And they just are walking off into the fucking forest, right off a cliff. Like, it's just like, I don't get it. Like, the booking sometimes is like, I feel like they have ADHD,
Well, let me do this. Let me get you to where I'm at with ADHD then. And then booking some. Why the fuck is Jey Uso on Raw?
Because I told you he was going to be on Raw. That makes perfect sense.
So explain your logic to me, because I'm befuddled.
I mean, we're pivoting into WWE, but and we'll talk about Jey Uso. Let's just start there because there's a lot I want to talk about. Just one big thing I want to talk about is Trish Stratus, just for a moment, but I'll table that for now. Jey Uso, listen. Jey Uso explained it today. He wanted to stop fighting with his family. He quit 3 weeks ago, and we saw this last year. The same thing with Rey Mysterio when he was fighting with his family on Raw. He moved over to SmackDown, and you're like, how are they going to stretch out Jimmy and Jey Uso for the rest of this to WrestleMania? I think they got to get him off SmackDown. This is their way of getting him off SmackDown to then, have him tell his own solo star. This is main event Jey Uso away from the bloodline, solely getting the spotlight on Raw to build him as a solo star, while Jimmy does the same thing on SmackDown. So by the time you get to WrestleMania, these guys have steam going into a brother versus brother match. That's what I'm seeing play out. And I think it makes perfect sense. This also has given Cody Rhodes, hopefully, an opportunity to find his way on the same roster as the guy who's trying to finish the story with, and that is the champion Roman Reigns over there. So I think this is an opportunity to do what they did with Cody, with Brock Lesnar all year on Raw. Now be like, oh, now we could swap him, and then now tell a story of him chasing Roman. It doesn't have to happen right away, but he can still chase Roman and see where we get to there by whenever they want us, have that encounter again. Because he's been saying it for months, like that's the title he wants. So I think that this is kind of a clever way if they do it that way to, kill two birds with one stone. You get the brother versus brother match at WrestleMania. You can also get Cody chasing Roman, and that story continuing to be told.
I mean, I can agree with the understanding of where it is, but it's not. Again, logistically, is not as less convoluted as some of the storytelling happening on the competitor. And I'm not doing the comparative shopping, but what I am saying is that we're completely, again, like you said, invested, as you spoke up with NXT, right? You're like, hey, the women are doing really good. They're improving. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, nigga, so was Billy Starks and Athena over there. Willow Starks Willow Nightingale just is performing out. So
wait a minute. So I just told you, and you told me to explain the Jey Uso thing.
Yeah,
and I tell you the entire logic, and your response to that is, oh well, now the women in NXT are doing good, and the women in AEW.
No, I'm saying again, logic of paying attention to story and connecting dots and listening to the story that's being told and wanting to accept the story.
Listen, I watched their women's division in AEW. I watched it, and I didn't make fucking sense. It didn't. I'm sorry. So it's not the same. It's not the same going on both sides. I'm watching the main event in AEW. To me, it doesn't make sense to do it this way. People like it. Hey, it is what it is.
The reason why I'm saying that is that, listen, the main event in Raw is just now making sense when we didn't even like the title a month ago, because it was like, why are they creating another title? It doesn't make sense. We're like, it's logic behind it. There's logic behind it. And we didn't care for the logic. We didn't want to care about the logic because we knew Roman shouldn't have had the titles. They shouldn't have split the titles up. They shouldn't have combined the titles. They shouldn't have to create another title. Logic. Over time, we just, again, like you said, you go back and they get you and they bring you into something. Seth didn't have a feud up until now. He has matches, but he hasn't had a feud up until now with Shinsuke that makes me want to pay attention, right? And the reason why it makes me want to pay attention, again, like you said, YouTube, right? YouTube did a really good job of giving me that 2-3 minute trailer of Shinsuke doing this Japanese thing when he first started talking about, you want to know what I told Seth? I know about your bag. And I'm like, shit, yeah, AEW can't compete with that. Hell no. They can't compete with that, nigga. What are you talking about? And I don't expect nobody to compete with that. Marvel can't compete with that, nigga. Loki trailer came out.
Yo, they made their whole.
Shinsuke shit back one more
They
time.
made a whole manga of Shinsuke and Seth at a Payback, and I was like, oh, I'm glued to the screen.
Bro,
Like,
it's very difficult to do that. It's
Yo.
hard.
They really captured Shinsuke. I think this is the best Shinsuke we've seen in a minute as far as character work. They kind of like took the Japanese thing that he does and made it translatable to this audience that, oh, we get this guy is dangerous. He knows.
And as a character, like you say, when we talk about our favorites, right? And this is just me juggling. For a while, it was like, yo, WWE's not doing Shinsuke's justice, right? WWE's not doing Shayna Baszler justice.
Yeah,
WWE's not doing. And it takes some time. You got to move some niggas out the way. Some niggas finally got to get hurt or get some time off or whatever the case may be and finally be able to shine some light. So I know AEW, is not in the best.
Let me ask you a quick question, though, before you finish with AEW. Who are they doing justice, in your opinion? Like, they're hitting it with this person, like, on the nose?
I would say, realistically, I like Swerve. I love what Swerve has been doing for the past month.
I will give you that. Because I said it on the last one. I was like, yo, Swerve is one of the people that I see.
Swerve. I like again Christian Cage work. They have really great strong heel work in AEW. And it's not like cool heels either. It's heels that you really can detest. Not even like Dominic Mysterio heel or Austin Theory heel. It's like the work of a heel, right? The story that Swerve did with Nick Wayne, and then eventually AR Fox got kicked out. Darby Allin was like, hey man, I won't be here without you. I love you still. Hug, embrace. That was a moment to now then allow us to continue what Swerve and AR Fox has been doing their whole career, which is putting on fire matches against each other. So, but realistically, I was.
But the list is short. I'm just saying. The list is very fucking short. Even Hangman Page, I'm like, yo, what's I doing with him?
I think that is the person that I will say. I won't say is injustice, but I will say, for one, let me get back to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
I turned the corner live and in public on Orange Cassidy. And it's because of he don't really do a lot of storytelling. It's because this nigga gonna wrestle who? Shit, let me see that. You know what I'm saying? He gonna wrestle who? Shit, let me see that.
But Orange Cassidy, I like him too, like a Chad Gable on Raw, where I'm gonna tune in because I know how talented he is. That's how I see it. There's a lot of guys around Chad Gable that I see they're hitting the nail on as character-wise, and it's full circle.
You know what's crazy? I won't even do that because Chad Gable, as great as a wrestler and a performer he is, man, I'm looking at like this is old television, WCW television title type stuff, right? I'm looking at like who had a really good strong reign. I don't want to put him in the elk of Booker T, but Orange Cassidy got a Booker T pop, right? You know what I'm saying? He got a Booker T presence where, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, he was a fighting champion through and through. I can't say nothing bad about Orange Cassidy's run and what he's actually done for the international championship. He's actually given that championship a lot of prestige to the point where you can give it off to a Moxley where it's not a joke title anymore, and it's credible, So, but that that goes like they did it right. They did it right with Orange Cassidy. I can't front. You're right. So when you say that, that's another person that's one person they hit on the nail. They got him to that point.
And I think Orange Cassidy is comparison to Rhea to me, right? It took a minute. Right, Rhea had to go through a lot of incarnations of who she was, what she was going to be. They always knew what she could be. They always knew she was a bell horse that they can put some to and staple it and run it. Right now, it took her it took her a while. It took her to get with her version of the best friends, right? It took her a dominant championship reign and consistently putting on bangers of matches for us to be like, all right, Bianca, you can rest, Jon Moxley, right? Because Bianca was the Jon Moxley of this, right? Go rest. Go get
Jon Moxley ain't gonna rest though. He just will not go home. This nigga should have had a vacation back in November of last year.
Yeah, niggas didn't want to get suspended.
Yo, and he's been here ever since. Punk came back, he still was here. Like, nah, I don't trust him.
You know what? Fuck it, I don't trust you, nigga. I can't even book another flight, nigga. Matter of fact, Renee, bring the baby. Every matter of fact, it's a vacation every week.
Yo, go get those chopsticks, yo. Use that shit.
But no, I again, like you say, who are they doing it right? And even with WWE, I can see, right, there's a lot of people are still questioning about Cody, right?
I don't see how you can even do that.
Gonna make that? How is that still going to make sense?
I think that WWE has too many people that are hitting it. That's what I feel like. You know, that's why I really do. I think the women's division is crazy. Like I just mentioned Trish real quick. Becky's been awesome. I think that talk about Bianca. She has to take a break because she's been so good. Yo, we have we don't got to talk about Roman and Seth. We don't even got to talk about the champions. Gunther. I mean, you even got to talk about him even. Yo, Cody's hitting it all cylinders. Jey Uso, when you see him, it's believable. Everything he does has a vibe and has a crowd rocking. Like, I think they're now adding pieces to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits to make them pop. You know, I'm just looking for that for a few people. I don't got to be the whole roster in AEW. I just need it. You know, with me in AEW, it's like, yeah, I want the matches, but I just want like one or two stories that I can really dig into and say, I want to come see that.
You know why? You know why? They got pushed, bro. They got pushed for so long again. WWE did not have to.
You know what's funny? I said the same thing to you, and you disregarded it when AEW came around. So now you're saying the same thing I said, that, oh, they're pushing the WWE to do better. And you're like, shh, they don't care about AEW. That's what you were saying, dog. No, again, it's so crazy.
Again, Chidi, 4 years ago, no, they did not. 4 years ago, no, they did not. 4 years ago, I'm hearing you again, like I'm saying. Yes, 4 years ago, no. Right now,
I mean, I still stand on that. They did, but I hear you. If you didn't believe that, that's
well. I mean,
but now you said they are.
But again, what you're saying? It takes what? It took again. AEW been around since 2019. Shayna Baszler just now looking like this, right? Right? It's AEW came in 2019. It took to the pandemic to Bobby to stop showing his ass. And we had no crowd, right? And it was like, yo, who we gonna sacrifice, Apollo or Bobby? That was where we was at, nigga, because we couldn't have more than one black at that time. It had to just be one black. You know what I mean? We were still struggling.
No, we still have more. Apollo gave it to Big E, and Bobby gave it to Big E. Like we have multiple black people.
It was a black at a time. It was like, hey, you give it to. That's what it was. Now we got a plethora.
No, there was Sasha Banks, Ricochet had it at the same time as Bobby. No, we had a moment, bro. Let's not go there. Street Profits had the titles. Yeah.
Again, what I'm trying to say is niggas had moments right when niggas was like, oh shit, we can lose some real and as we saw, right? WWE released who they released. It was like who's valuable and who wasn't, and we seen over time, right? Who they really thought was valuable, who they wanted to keep.
And who they brought back.
And who they brought back. Yeah. Exactly. And at the end of the day, like they don't do that, right? If AEW doesn't really have not just that 2019 and I'm here got the 10,000 people, it's what they did when they got the restructure of the contract. It's then what they did during the pandemic.
I think the first thing was with them beating NXT in the ratings consistently. I think that was. I didn't think they. I know WWE didn't see
Well,
that.
yeah. I mean, again, we
Yeah.
talking about Adam Cole's there. We talking about Matt Riddle. I'm talking my shit, nigga. I'm saying it's the Jericho called me out. I was like, "You fool, you idiot," and I'm like, "Nigga, I'm like, you telling me I'm not gonna watch Johnny Gargano?" Yeah, shit. Even Tommaso looking for this nigga still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's gonna be interesting when they reunite. But like that's what I'm asking for at AEW. There's like just a few pieces that I can say because I felt like that with MJF for a minute. Like, yo, he is bringing me to that show. Ricky Starks is bringing me to that show where they're clocked in, they're tapped in on a certain level. When Ricky Starks cuts that promo, I get a little sense of that. Oh, he's there. You know, those are the moments where I'm like, all right, they got something here with him. They're letting him actually show it. Now let's see what they're gonna do with that talent, you know. And they kind of regressed with MJF, in my opinion. But I think he's a great talent. Let me know, still, I think he's one of my favorite wrestlers in the world still. But I think for storytelling wise, I wasn't very interested in the last couple of stories he's been telling on the show. So I don't tune into AEW because they haven't given me these characters that I can say, you know what, I need to watch on a regular basis. You know, House of Black, I really want to see more from. I really do. I don't know where they go now from this, but I really want to see that unit of darkness become a really strong, powerful unit in a trios championship and put that on the map. And that would have been perfect to have a trios championship with Stadium Stampede and the Blood and Guts and all that stuff that you did with BCC and the Elite. But you guys used all that time up just to tell that storyline surrounded by two groups having gang warfare over a screwdriver and a manager then screws one of the other guys over. There wasn't really substance in that for me. So not to beat a dead horse, but that's why I'm saying, like, call out the people who are really hitting it for you in AEW, and we can see. You said Swerve, you said Orange Cassidy, great, but that list is very short. I can call it like a list of 10 to
Kenny,
15 guys.
Kenny, Takeshke, like,
Kushida.
damn, Chris Statlander's back. I like Chris Statlander, and she's doesn't have necessarily a feud, but she's another Orange Cassidy s fighting champion. Where I'll watch her wrestle her. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she gets it in. You know what I'm saying? Like before Karashida won.
But who is Chris Statlander? And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I want just a little bit more, and I was excited when she beat Jade. I really was. I came on this pod and I said, that's a more prestigious championship than a women's championship because they actually had a moment, they had a moment that really mattered. Now you have Saraya winning it in the UK. Obviously, that's a moment as well. Now you have a moment to like create these titles that and champions with the champion that have substance behind. Hey, this is the reason why I'm champion. This is what I stand for. As champion. And I think that they've done that with Orange Cassidy. I'm waiting for them to do it with Chris Statlander. I haven't really seen it. It's just her going out there and having a match,
You
and
haven't watched. You just told me you haven't.
I know enough that she's not had an angle that has substance, bro. If I know enough. I do tap into YouTube every now and then. I know that she had a match with Ruby coming up, and I know she had a match and that she beat Ruby due to Tony before you even told me that. I didn't know. I do know some things, but at the same time, I know enough to know that, hey, they're not necessarily, giving a ton of character work to these girls. No, I don't trust them in the women's division. There's a reason why people bring signs to their shows saying book the women better. That's not like a made up thing. I'm not the only one thinking.
Yes, I know. I know. As you say, that WWE just got better because we were doing the same thing with Twitters and signs because we wanted them to book their women. I mean, it goes with the ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, it does. And I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to beat their horse, but like it got better. So like I'm not gonna appreciate it when it's better. When it gets better, I'll be back to appreciate AEW. I swear. I'm not gonna hold you.
But I am appreciating Chris Statlander coming back from ripping up her knee in motherfucking hole and putting on great matches. I'm sorry that she hasn't had a fucking angle yet. She had the championship for 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Like, it's been more than 3 weeks, it's been like 3 months, but okay. But nah. Speaking of women, let me get my Trish take off, man. This woman has had one of the best resurgences I've seen in the wrestling businesses as of late. I did not expect her at the age of 47 to come back in 2023 and do a whole like legit full schedule with WWE and have not just one, not just two, but multiple like stellar matches. She just had a cage match with Becky Lynch at Payback that can rival anything she's done previously as one of her best matches of all time at the age that she is, and taking that hiatus. Like, how long has she been away from actually wrestling on a regular basis, and then coming back and doing it at this level? I am not going to say the whole quintessential thank you, Trish, but I'm going to say that I genuinely appreciate the consistency she's putting in, because you can come in and do a spot like she did with the Evolution with Charlotte. Just do a little spot. It was a decent match and let them go, and people are still going to just be happy and appreciate that. But the work, the bruises that she got from that cage match to her head, her forehead, the bump she took. She has kids at home. She has a family. She's, a huge star in Canada. She's on the Canada Got Talent. She's one of the hosts. She don't need to come here and do a whole like wrestling. She got the bag over there. Trust me. And I just want to say, I appreciate the love she has to be consistent with the craft of wrestling and did put on those matches. Like, she had one of the best matches of her career this past weekend. And I would never have thought Trish Stratus is going to be one of my best matches of the year this year. And I'm happy to say that I was thoroughly entertained with that match. I think it was the best match of the card, Payback. And I don't want to now knock Becky Lynch. She's the other half of this because she's done it again with Becky. With Trish, this is the second time they've had a really good match. Or maybe it's the third. But they have great chemistry. And Becky Lynch, I always say, as much she doesn't need a title, but she is a professional. I don't care who a lot of people say they don't like Becky for this and that reason. Becky is consistent every single time she's out there, character-wise, promo-wise, and in the ring. So the woman in WWE, I want to give y'all all the props. I can't wait to see what comes next, because I honestly wanted Trish to win the Money in the Bank, because I think that would have given her even more legs to, with the thank you Trish stuff and everything like that. But hey, just want to just give a moment to really let that sink in for what we're seeing. And a lot of times we want to appreciate people while we got them. We just lost people last week, Terry Funk and Bray. But when we have our legends come back and then actually perform well, and then on multiple occasions, yeah, we got to take a moment to highlight that. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think to piggyback off of that, Trish, as you stated, 47, as you said, it's not only that she came back for the love of the game. Like, that bag was there. You talking about she got a bag? Nah, nigga, this is a whole new bag, nigga. What you mean? Like, this is a whole new bag. This is a whole new exposure.
I know, but I'm not saying she's not getting paid for it. No, she doesn't have to wrestle. I'm telling you that. That's true.
I know, but again, it's the same thing. Like, when we talk about like you said, who she is and what she's become to a new generation, right? She is quote unquote mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she has inspired those who inspire, right? You got wrestlers who are saying that I'm a wrestler because of Bayley and Sasha, and Sasha's like, I'm a wrestler because of Lita and Trish, right? So, like, in that form, she's absolutely breathtaking, right? We also know who Trish was and knew what she grew herself into being. She wanted to be a wrestler. She wanted to be eye candy. She wanted, and she grew into that and main evented Raw. And that then led to a revolution of women wrestling. And then she wasn't a part of that revolution. She never got to do ladder matches or cage matches or Money in the Bank matches or Royal Rumbles and shit like that. So when she came back again, the exposure, like I said, is exposure to a whole. Like, no, I want these scars. I want to bleed. I want my elbow to. I want to feel that bump because there's nowhere in the world that you're gonna say that I pioneered something and then I don't get a chance to
partake in it.
and I'm able to. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Well, I didn't think she was even. I didn't think she was able to. I mean, look at John Cena. He's like a year younger than her, and you can see him. He's it's a step behind. You know, with him in Austin Theory this year, but Trish took years off. Like multiple, like it was like at least like 15 years before she came back and did a whole run again. Like that's unheard of in my opinion. Like, you know, and she's out there doing like one of the best, pretty much still like first match of the night, best match of the night in my opinion. You know, and they had a bunch of great matches on Payback, but that stood out to me, man. Like I did not expect that. I'm glad to get the time. I'm glad they put it on the pay-per-view.
And this goes back to what we talking about expectations, right? And as fans, we just gotta let shit play out. SummerSlam. A lot of people are upset that match wasn't on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
True.
Triple H was like, well, brother, hey, come on. Like, yeah, I already complained. These are the guys, they do pay-per-views until 1 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to keep it on the schedule. They wasn't going to have as much time. People wasn't trying to hear that shit. What was up? A lot of niggas wasn't trying to hear that shit. They extended the feud out. Even Becky and Trish wasn't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then sometimes, like you say, a good coach, right? Sometimes that has control of the locker room. Also respect, right? Becky and Trish respect the business enough. And this goes back to where I say Punk never had the respect, right? Hold on. How you can't say you got the respect? Trish came back, like you said, it's a different ball game. I don't come in the locker room the same way I did 15 years ago. It's a different way. I don't talk to the girls. I don't talk to the women. I don't talk to the boys. We don't do shit the way we used to do when I left the locker room. It's not even my fucking locker room no more. Punk can't do that. From what we understand, the motherfucker.
What Trish portrayed on screen, Punk did that in real life. Like condescending, like, hey, this is thank you, CM Punk, for coming.
Exactly.
And you should be thanking me that I'm even here.
And you can't, and what I'm trying to say is that is how you don't get the respect of the boss.
Absolutely.
When things don't go your way, and you got to come back to the boss and chirps and they got to come like, hey, listen, just follow me. And you throw your hissy fit like, yo, I got my own path. This is what we got to get off this shit. I got other shit I'm trying to do. Just follow me. Respect that we going to get you there and it's going to be done the way that you can do it. They had a 20-minute cage match, my nigga.
That shit was fire.
Bruh. Follow me.
Yeah,
how you can go and do whatever you're gonna do. You got Becky going there with Tiffany Stratton. You might want to do Trish take some time off. You gotta heal.
I mean, I love the callback to the Widow's Peak with Victoria. That bump she took off the cage, a superplex. You got the Twist of Fate that Becky did. Like there were little pieces to that match that just gave it a little bit of like extra pop that just brought it full circle. But it was amazing. And like cage matches, I'm not even a big cage match guy, but I can't remember the last like really, really good cage match I've seen in a minute. Like it's been a minute since I've seen one. It's probably like an NXT or something, like one of the Fight Pit matches, that I was like really fucking with. But cage matches, I'm like, okay, they're usually mid. I'm gonna be honest, they'd be all right.
These match I saw was Aleister Black versus was it
Small Joe?
No, I think it was Johnny Gargano. Was that the case? Was that the? I got the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm off.
But that's a minute ago, like so. Like cage matches usually don't be hitting for me, so I didn't expect a lot because once I heard cage match, I was like, okay, it's cage match. Get their limited, but they went all out, man. They did their thing, bro. And the battle scars showed like she this is both Money Bank and this. She was physically real battle scars from performing for us, the fans, at coming back to do that. A lot of people like to be Hollywood when they get once they got Hall of Fame ring, all this shit. I don't need to do all that bumping shit. Like, are you crazy? No, she wants to do that. Like, and she's like still looking sexy as hell, pretty as ever can be. And you don't need to do that to get a look, but she wants to do that too. Like, I just really respect it, man. So, man, thank you, Trish. I guess that shit is amazing to me.
Outside of Trish, Payback crowned new tag team champions. Judgment Day. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I called it, man. I knew they had a chance to. I knew they were going to win this, man. I feel like the Seth and KO tag team reign was really on the back of the Bloodline angle. And once they had to do their thing on their own, and on top of that, they're a new world championship on Raw. There's not a lot of time to you need another tag team that has that energy and vibe to get that energy where you can feel like they are, worth putting in the main event again, or something like that. But Judgment Day, it was time to make a change, man. It was time to make a change, man, and I believe that was the right decision. And that was another match that was incredible. Like, it was a match that I did not expect because I didn't even know it was a pretty much a fall no call bar match, tag team match, a tornado tag. It was awesome. You don't usually get to see those. So, and then KO had his call out to Terry Funk.
That was a YouTube special. They did a YouTube. I fuck with Raw Talk. I like Raw Talk. You know what I'm saying? They do the digital exclusives, okay. And that's when they mentioned it on there.
Okay, awesome, man. So yeah, man. Judgment Day wins. Finn Balor, Grand Slam Finn. I mean, come on, you gotta respect that guy, man. He's been through a lot. It's great to see him with gold again.
Yeah, man. My guy looks good. Looks happy.
I still haven't got the shirt, bro. I'm like, man, I said, yeah.
Oh, shit.
If I wear that, got in the mail, because I want to wear it. But yeah, man. And Damian Priest, I said something in the group chat earlier today. I know it's like a weird ass stat, but he's on his way to becoming Triple Crown champion if he actually successfully wins and cashes into that Money in the Bank briefcase. That would be one of the fastest people to do that because he would have done it in less than 3 years if that's the case on the main roster. So shout out to Damian Priest. We'll see what happens going forward.
My thing is, will he cash in and does he win it?
Well, that's the question. I don't know. If I'm calling it right now, he doesn't really need to win it. I think that Judgment Day is really rolling right now. But if he does win it, it will be off of some Seth Rollins being injured type stuff, So it would be out. Shinsuke putting him down and then Damian Priest, sneaking in there and taking the belt.
I don't think Damian Priest wins it in Judgment Day.
Oh, you think he leaves? Okay.
I think JD McDonough replaces him.
But what happens to the tag titles? Are they going to show up on SmackDown?
Oh yeah, they'll drop them. I think that's the story going. I think that'll be the story, right? I think the story is they got the tag titles with brothers. I know JD a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? I trust him a little bit more. JD and Finn as tag team champs or as a tag team.
No, he's not just gonna give JD the tag.
No, I didn't say give it. No, I'm saying like to replace
after they drop it. You mean? Okay, yeah. Okay, I feel you. Okay.
After they drop, I think
that's interesting.
Yeah, I think they would work well. Even though Finn, I would like for him to be a single star, and Judgment Day can go back being a singles star group. But I think JD and Finn has a relationship that might be something Finn would be interested in as a tag. You know what I'm saying? Again, when we talk about corralling aspirations and expectations, hey Finn, we gave you 3 title chances with Seth. You're not the guy. You're not winning the main title off of Roman. So let me give you a nice little sweet little gig. You can run with your partner that you knew for 20 years. Y'all can hit every town you want. And whenever we need you, stay healthy. We can put you back up on top. But right now, it ain't gonna be right now. So I don't want to have no expectations fucking start because it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Yeah, not yet, not yet. When it's time, it's time, you know. And I think I do think Finn will have his time again, probably as a babyface, not a heel. But I do think it will come, you know. And when it comes, it's gonna be awesome. I think Finn is Finn is one of those guys who he's so laissez-faire. Like at least from the interviews I see, when he's behind the scenes, like he just goes with the flow. He's cool with everything. He's just happy to be wrestling and doing what he loves, you know.
Or do JD McDonough replace Finn and kick Finn out?
I mean, I think that's a little bit. Nah, I don't see that.
You know
I think maybe down the line they can have a Finn versus JD feud, but maybe that probably to be like within a year or so. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, real quickly though, because it spins into my book in black, and that is Bobby and the Street Profits. We talked on the group chat on SmackDown after that promo. Oh, you know, the Street Profits want gold. Oh, how are they going to get gold? Sammy and K got listen. I'm like, yo, Sammy and K are about to drop these joints. That's how they're going. And I said Street Profits and Bobby are baby faces. I'm telling you right now, these guys cannot be booed. The reaction, I think they initially were supposed to be heels, absolutely. But I think the reaction they've gotten consistently since coming back in this new suits and everything like that, I think they're going to go the babyface route. And they're going to be more aggressive baby faces. So I see that happening and them getting gold. I do see Street Profits defeating Priest and Finn at some point for these tag titles in the next coming months. That's my book in black. And Bobby and Franklin is going to come up as well. But we'll see how that turns out.
So essentially you're stating that they're babies and they're only babies because they can't be booed. Bro, if you know one thing about America, some black men can get turned on real quick. So I don't know why your ass so goddamn.
You gotta make it racy, bro. Listen,
I ain't making shit.
I'm going.
Just telling you what it is, nigga. They booed New Day when they were church positive choir niggas,
and they're cheering the guys. Bobby and Street Profits whooping some ass every single time, no matter who they whoop, they're cheering them. You know, doesn't even they just come up.
I think it does matter. The Ballin' Brutes. I mean, come on, bro. Like, yeah, go get your fish and chips.
They were beating up AJ and the Good Brothers too. They cheered the hell out of them.
Yeah, bro. We care about AJ. We don't care about Luke and Gallows.
Damn, I thought they were your guys, dog. You should.
Bro, AJ's good brothers, Uncle Allen's good brothers, nigga. I don't know them. They drink natural light. I don't drink that shit.
Oh my goodness, bro. But they cheered them, bro. And even when they're not beating people up, and they just come out to do that promo last week, they're getting an ovation that I don't think that the WWE powers that be will turn on. I think they're not going to say, okay, I want you guys to boo these guys. And I think that this is also because Roman is a heel. Roman is the heel. He's the top heel in the company. He's top heel in the company. So we're not going to push Bobby to also be a heel and then have a heel versus heel angle. I think that when Bobby says, hey, we're coming for gold, that means he's coming for Roman. Street Profits are going for the tag titles. And we're doing this as the babyface group that are really serious about changing shit up here. You know, so that's what I'm thinking.
Well, when you say we're going for gold, and
we're coming for you, nigga. We want the gold.
When you say we coming for gold and we gonna beat people's asses, I'm down. Again, that's just what I'm trying to say is that's what all I'm saying is in every facet of factiondom that is bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like even the Hurt Business,
DX did it as a babyface group.
they did what as a babyface group?
They got over whooping people's ass and making them look stupid.
Yeah, but again, it's who they did it against. It was nobody really credible. You know what I'm saying? And when they did it against the Nation of Domination again, it was black
Nation
niggas.
of Domination was credible. Don't even stop.
I didn't say, bro. You're not even letting me finish.
You said it. Okay, go ahead.
I said again. You said, baby faces beating up niggas. They got over. Okay, DX beat up black niggas. What I'm trying to say, they beat up Nation of Domination. That was it. That was the only credible people that they beat up as baby faces. What I'm saying is that right now, Bobby and Street Profits have to find credible heels to beat up. Butch and Ridley aren't it.
What do you think the Judgment Day is?
Okay. Street Profits going after the Judgment Day.
Like, you like it, right? You like it. All right.
I don't like it. I liked what I had the expectation of Sammy and KO going against the Street Profits and they beating their ass. That's what I liked.
Okay, well, you're not going to get it.
Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to not tune in with your spoiled ass. So they'll spoil.
Okay.
Anything else we want to cover before we get
Oh man. Shit. No, man. I think that's it, man. I think we got it. Got most of the things that we needed to cover. I think there's obviously things we kind of skimmed past, but hey, we'll talk about it another time or we won't.
What's that? You got anything off the top of your head?
No. I know that there's something probably that we missed over the past couple of weeks, but I don't care enough to remind it and talk about it. I don't. I really do like what they're doing in NXT with Carmelo and Trick, though. Like, I really do like the brotherhood they're having, and they're having a little bit of misunderstandings and seeing where things go. Trick's trying to be his own man. He's trying to find that confidence from brother. Like, yo, do you really think I can beat El Dragunov and get that confidence to go at him again after that, match they had at I think it was
Heatwave, wasn't it?
Heatwave or no, Great American Bash. And then Heatwave, he faced Wesley. So yeah, man, I'm down to see where this thing goes. I'm really excited to see where Trick goes next too, because he seems like a really good baby face that's going to build down there. Trick, whoop that Trick. That is catching steam down there. So that's all. I'm just gonna leave off on that.
I think, as you stated, NXT is finding this footing. I'm not gonna discredit Sean. I won't put him ahead of Tony, just because, again, I do think Tony has a lot more that he does have to juggle, and I think
he has a lot. He's a lot more talent than NXT, and I think that he has it. He could, I'm not gonna get into the debate, but he has a lot more talent. It's like you saying, I'm not gonna say that Bill Belichick is a better coach because he has less talent and doing more with it. But this guy over here, Andy Reid, he has a stacked Eagles team. So yeah, he's coach of the year because he has a stacked Eagles team that didn't get to the Super Bowl. Like, that's how it sounds like to me.
Well, I mean, no. Well, I mean, yes, we can. If you want to make that comparison, like, you do the best what you can, but what you got, but you ultimately know that talent pool is not good, right? You coach up what you have, and what you do good. And sometimes you're 8-8, and guess what? That shit ain't good enough. But guess what? With that talent pool, it's good enough. But 8-8 ain't good enough. NXT, my nigga, is 8-8, nigga. It ain't good enough. Fuck what you talking about?
Okay, I hear you.
He coached well. He coached fantastic. Nigga, they 8-8.
Sometimes 8-8 means you coach of the year.
Okay, like, Jeff Fisher. Okay, Jeff Fisher. Get your ass out. That's what Shawn Michaels is right now. Jeff Fisher making it to just getting by is what his ass doing. My defense.
You are downplaying. All right.
No, listen. Sean is playing. Listen. Sean is saying my defense good. That's what he doing.
Okay.
My defense good. My skill positions suck. I don't have a quarterback. Special teams, I barely get a punt off. But my defense is really, really good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That nigga got Trick Williams, Carmelo, Wesley, Dragonoff. My defense is really, really good.
All right, I hear
You
you.
working in some freshman skill players with Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. We trying to get niggas over the schism. You know what I'm saying?
Von Wagner.
Oh, well. Von Wagner's that tight end that you just be like, fuck, nigga. You big. Can you block? Can you catch? Can you do something, nigga? I gotta keep you because you 6'7".
But Braun Breaker, he's a money piece too. You know, he's doing his
Listen,
thing.
this is what I know. Bro, this is what I be trying to tell you with the Cowboys, my nigga. The defense, good. The mother niggas,
Not as good as you think.
bro. Bro,
Oh
y'all
man.
niggas keep talking about Tony Pollard, bro. He coming off an ACL. What he supposed to do? What he supposed to do? He the senior now, my nigga. What else?
Oh my goodness. Oh, yo, football's right around the corner. Yo, it's this week, Joe. It's Christmas Eve, bro. Football Eve, bro.
Football is Thursday night. We got Chiefs, Lions again. I want to root for the Lions, but I hope them niggas lose because I got the Bears winning the division. I'm so conflicted right now.
Man, if the Lions win, it'll be a huge upset, but I don't see that happening.
Hell no, nigga. Hell no. Oh man. All right, brother. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, man. I gotta get up at 5:00 and it's already 2, but I'm about to be 2. All love, everything's wrestling. We'll tune back in with y'all next week. We'll see what time it is, but there's too much wrestling to catch up with. So hopefully we'll be on a regular time of Saturday.
We did a 2-hour show, I think. Yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
Collision. Fuck Collision. We not watching Collision. Yeah. I think Saturday night we can get our spot back.
Yeah, man. If Samoa Joe and MJF picks up, I might be tuning into AEW again. So just stay tuned. All right. All love, everything's wrestling. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Run.